Good morning again, YouTubians. This is my second video for the day. I just finished filming a video outside. We did a little tour of the garden and looked at some of the bamboo. And now we are in the greenhouse. It's finally a little bit cooler and I can film in here. I've turned off the fans. I think I'm going to open the door just to let in a little bit of breeze there. Today we're going to be talking about Vandas, Vanda hybrids, Vanda type orchids, Vandas in humidity, and I'm going to just show you some of my Vandas in pots and some Vandas that are hanging. I'll show you what a new bloom spike looks like and how to trim off an old one. So we're going to do lots on Vandas today, and yeah, let's get started. So why don't we first talk about, right here is a table below me. You can see one Vanda on the table right here. I'm going to show you my Vandas in pots first. I've really upped the misting system in here and really been spraying them lots. And look at the difference in the roots that we have from the last update. This is a new root here. These are new roots. I bet you this thing has grown 6 inches since our last update at least. It has got new roots coming out on the bottom here. They're all going into the pot. They are going around the outside of the pot. And yeah, some of the roots are not looking as good, but we have tons of new ones coming. And what's interesting, what's happening, is the roots are growing in towards the greenhouse. They're growing in towards the humidity. So, very interesting there. This one is Rentheria. I'm reading it backwards on the camera there. Anyways, it's a red one. And by the looks of it, I don't know if you'll be able to see it up here. Right in there is something other than a root, I think. I mean, I can clearly see what a root looks like coming down here. And we got something different happening in there. So I will keep you updated. That would be the first time it flowers for me. Now this was one that's actually on the second shelf because it doesn't like quite so much sun. This little guy, he's on the first shelf, up on the top. He's doing well. He's, let's see if I can get the tag out. There is the tag for this guy. As I say, these aren't actually Vandas, they're just Vanda type orchids. He likes full sun. You can tell from the red spotting on the leaves, he's definitely getting maximum amount of sun. We got some great new roots happening on him as well. There's one there, and one there. And it sounds like a noisy crow or raven out there. Even some of the old roots, they're starting to regrow tips. So if you lose a root tip, don't worry. This one grew 4 actually, because there's one up here. 5, there's one coming up there, where this one stopped. When I first got it, I staked it with a little stake, but I think it's pretty safe to take the stake out. As for a potting media for these guys, well, we can see in this one pretty clearly, I use a lot of rocks. I make sure the rocks are pH neutral, they don't affect the pH. There's a little bit of bark in there as well, and a tiny bit of moss. Now naturally these would be growing in a basket with no media, so the fact that they're getting some rocks in there and a little bit of bark, that's great. The clay pot holds moisture as well. The rocks are really just to add weight. This is a very heavy pot because it's half full of rocks. And bark, of course, but half full of rocks, so it won't tip over when it's bigger. And that is the point of the clay pots, because these guys do get big and top heavy. They don't need the media, but if you're gonna have something, I like the rocks just because they keep it stable. And they're all really heavy like that. Now this guy we've talked about before, he was actually sitting in a saucer of water. You can see the green there. That's one of the reasons I don't like clay. It gets all slimy. You'll never find that on a plastic pot. But they like the humidity anyways. So this guy was just a little cakey that I got. And yeah, this one is a true Vanda. Here's the tag for it. It's doing quite well. It was a really yellow color when I got it. It's perked up nicely with green. It sits on the top shelf as well. There's a big new root right here. And this older root system has broken out with like 6 other roots on it. Another root on that side coming up out of the pot, and another one going down the pot here. These marks are some sort of mineral. As I've said in other videos, this pot was, it came to me with an orchid in, and it had these mineral stains when I got it. I tried vinegar and everything else on it. I use fresh water, so it doesn't seem to be hurting anything. They're certainly not getting any worse. They're getting a little bit better over time. But that guy's in full sun as well. Top dressing of moss. And we'll sit him down there. I had him in a little saucer that, because it's right above some of the electrical equipment there, so I have them in saucers up top there. Now we are going to show you these guys over here. There's some bigger ones. What I was going to do was bring over this guy here and show you what new bloom stalk looks like on it. But what I discovered after I brought this guy down was this one here, which I'm going to bring over because he's reasonably small. This guy is a bright red Vanda. He's always in bloom. So anyways, I need to hang something right there. That would be great. Free up a hand. So this guy's got, he's in a basket. He's got live Spanish moss around him. I don't know if that helps with humidity or actually like draws in humidity. But either way, it is what it is, and his roots go all the way down. He's got some new roots coming out on there as well. And look at, this is what the humidity does. So there's where the old root had stopped growing. And then this new spot, you can see it thicker, is actually since the new misting system's been in and everything like that. So, yeah, what I was going to do today was trim off this guy with you. This is an old bloom spike. You can see this is a mini Vanda. This is as big as he gets. That's as tall as his spike gets, so it's easy for us to see anyways. And look at, out of the very same leaf node, we have a new spike coming. So we're doing something right with this one. He really likes it. He hangs up nice and high. He's really bright there. So you can see previous blooms on him, hopefully. Right there, and down there a little further. So that gives you an idea of about how far we want to cut this. So I sterilize those with rubbing alcohol before I started filming. And I'm just going to go in and cut this guy now. He comes off nice and easy. Some of the bigger Vandas, they can be a little bit tricky, a little bit tough. Big thick stalks on them, unlike this little guy. But yeah, look at that. We already have a new bloom spike coming out of the same one. That's great. I don't know that I've seen that before, where you get two out of the one node when it's ending. But anyways, these guys, they hang. So they all get watered when it's hot, pretty much every day. These ones, they get sprayed, everything gets totally misted down, and everything is sort of dripping wet for a while. The roots actually will turn from white to green when they're not thirsty, and then back to just sort of silvery white again when they can use some more water. Vandas seem to always be thirsty. They do have the ability to take moisture out of the air, which is why humidity again is so important. So if you miss a day or two of watering, they don't shrivel up on you. But anyways, I think we'll keep this video relatively short. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked the Vanda update and a few of my care tips there. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thanks for watching.